Three, two, one. Hello.
Welcome to Background Noise.
I'm Eric.
I'm Casey.
And let's get into today's episode. This episode, we're going to be talking about really bad roommate stories that we found online.
Yes. So this first one, it's called My Dirty Roommate Who Never Cleans Just Walked In on Me Cleaning and said, "Wow, you really love cleaning, don't you?"
Oh, no.
This is a rant more than anything. Actually, there's two of them. They're a couple, and together they make the most disgusting messes I've ever seen in my life. I'm 23 and they're 34, and somehow I feel like I'm living with children. I've spoken with them on multiple occasions, and they always apologize and clean up. Within a week, they're back to their normal selves. It's not like they're horrible people. They're actually really nice, and they're completely oblivious to the mess they make. They even leave poop stains in the toilet.
Oh, no.
So I was cleaning up when...
Sorry, that's really funny.
So I was cleaning up when one of them walks past me and says, "Wow, you really love cleaning, don't you?" I said, "Well, someone has to clean in this house." To which I get a reply, "Well, thanks, I appreciate it, and sorry. I know I shouldn't clean up anyone else's mess, but the thing is, if I don't, it will never get done, and we get bugs. They move out in a few months, apparently. I can't wait."
Yeah. Good. No, I can't imagine. I love the first comment. Me. "And you really love making messes." True. No, really, I don't understand. There really is no reason to be like a fully grown adult or an adult, period.
Like, she's 23 and they're 34. Why are you living together?
That actually was my first thought. That feels like too far of an age gap.
Yeah.
When you're early 20s and like early 30s. Not even.
Completely.
Early 20s, mid 30s. It just feels like a little too much of a gap. Your brains shouldn't even be on the same like path. You know what I mean?
Well, and
like,
it's crazy that they don't clean up to the point where they're getting bugs in the house.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's giving
Disgusting.
really bad. Like, I couldn't handle that as a person. Like,
me either.
Are they literally just never doing anything? Like, what are they doing with their time? What do you mean I love to clean? No, I don't, but I have to do it.
Yeah,
because it's your job. If you make a mess, you clean it up. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so mine's like a complete different level of crazy because it's called roommate assault in the court. Basically, it all started in July of 2023. I got home from work and chit-chatted with one of my roommates, B. She was home. She started telling me about catching her boyfriend cheating. I don't remember all the details now, but I remember thinking to myself that this sounds like she's either reaching for a reason to be mad at him or a fantasy she concocted in her head because it sounds like a soap opera, but I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Now we'd only lived together for about 3 months at this point, and in the past 3 months, I definitely noticed some behaviors that set off alarm bells in my head, including a couple different times where she point blank asked me if I was sleeping with her boyfriend. I didn't even like him as a person and kept my bedroom when he was over, so no clue where she got that from. Anyways, back to the day of. I finished up my conversation with her, and I went into my room to call a friend. At some point, our other roommate, A, gets home from work. I hear B leave, and a couple minutes later, A texts me from the living room asking what's going on. I come out of my room and ask her what she means. She says that when B was leaving, she was kind of talking to herself about how nobody here cares about her and she should just move out. Both of us were very confused by this at that point, but we both knew B could have mood swings and could get a little volatile at times, so we both shrugged it off. Later that evening, about 6 or 7 p.m., I'm laying in bed watching TV, and I hear the front door slam open, so I knew it was B. Not even a full minute later, my bedroom door flies open, and B screams, "You B-word," and practically flies across the room to jump on top of me and just starts beating on my head and face. The first hit kind of dazed me, so I didn't really feel it, but I kept asking her why she was doing this and what did I do. She just kept screaming, "You know what you did." Add in some swear words for effect. Not literally, but... Finally, after some time, I have no idea how long, she gets up and walks out. At that point, I start to come out of the daze and fully realize what's just happened. I couldn't lock my bedroom door because the lock was a bit janky and it just popped right open anyway. I could still hear her in the kitchen where I knew there were knives and all sorts of other things that could be used as weapons, and she was full on ranting. She was ranting about how terrible of a person I was and how I need to quit sleeping with other people's boyfriends.
What?
And a whole bunch of other stuff meant to hurt me, but I can't remember anything now. I tried to text A, but she was out at dinner with friends and not answering. And then I texted her property manager who lives in the attached mother-in-law suite, and she was at the movies. I was scared. I truly didn't know what to do. I wanted to call 911 because I was that afraid of her coming back into my room with a knife, but I was afraid if she heard me on the phone, it would set her off again too. I got the bright idea of sending a text to 911, and it worked. When I got that text response, there was such a wave of relief. I told them what happened, and they sent some officers out. As soon as they said they were close, I booked it out of my room and ran out front and stood on the driveway waiting for them. They took her out in cuffs and booked her for the weekend. It was Saturday night, and they released her on Monday. She ended up sending my property. Don't worry, guys. I do know it is called a mother-in-law suite, not suit. Casey, let me know. But let me resume. They took her out in cuffs and booked her for the weekend. It was a Saturday night, and they released her on Monday. She ended up sending my property manager an A texts apologizing to them for everything that happened. I never heard a word. I'm still slightly salty about that. She moved out the following weekend. I got an order of protection against her, and apparently the county is pressing charges because I said I didn't want to. Whoa, I didn't know that was a thing. So now fast forward a year, bad English. She failed to appear to one of her court dates, and they issued a bench warrant. I get a letter anytime something happens with this case. I got a call from the prosecutor's office on Thursday letting me know they were offering her a plea deal for mandatory domestic violence classes. I said I never wanted her to go to jail, but I did repeatedly say I wanted her to get the help she needs. The prosecutor told me that if she didn't accept the plea, it would have to go to trial. I fully expected her to accept it. The hearing was on Friday while I was at work. Then fast forward one more time to today. I got another call from the prosecutor's office. It was going to trial, October 24th. I'll be getting a subpoena to testify. I'm not excited about taking time off work and using my PTO on this girl or expending any more time or energy on her. Nor am I excited to even be in the same room with her again, as I imagine she'll probably be there. I'm working on trying to find a therapist since I still get up in the middle of the night sometimes to make sure the doors are locked. I really just want this to be done already. Jeez.
I don't know why she's over here being like, I told them multiple times, I don't want to press charges or have her go to jail.
It's like, why? That's your right to.
Yeah, she literally assaulted you, beat you up.
For no reason.
For no reason.
Wasn't self-defense.
She needs to go to jail.
Yeah, that's insane. She definitely needs to go to jail. Or at least
get help.
Yeah, bare minimum, period.
I'm just so shook. I'm shook that she didn't want her to press. She didn't want to press charges at all.
Yeah, I would have had
sue her.
Yeah, get that money, get that bread.
Get that bread. Anyway.
That was a good one, though.
Yeah. Don't prove I'm right. Please help. I need some advice.
Oh, no.
This is from Italian Vampire.
Okay.
So this...
Oh... This early?
So this might be a little scattered, as I've been kind of frantic these past few days trying to figure out what to do. My sister and I have been living in a 3-bed, 2-bath for a year now. Our mom used to live with us, but moved out at the beginning of the year. Our lease renewed this month, and...
Okay.
And we were originally looking at 2-bed, 2-bath to move into, as we didn't need the extra room and it would be cheaper. In late June, when we were getting ready to decide on a new apartment, a mutual friend reached out asking if I knew anyone needing a roommate. And I said, hey, why not? Considering she had claimed her current ones were crazy and she needed to get away because she didn't feel comfortable living with them and was basically staying at her boyfriend's. I didn't know her too well, but my friends did, and they all said it would be a great idea. I laid out some ground rules, such as clean up after yourself, help with chores, give us a heads up when you're inviting people over and that we don't know. Give us a heads up when inviting people over that we don't know, pay rent on time, don't let the cat outside. Basic rules that you'd totally believe to be reasonable and easily followed, right? Well, after I went oh my heck, I can't read.
No.
Well, after I went over all of that, she asks if her sister could come stay with us, only for a couple of months. This is where I may have made the first mistake. I didn't want to say no. I didn't want to leave her sister on her own in the streets, so I said yes, as long as she abides by those rules. I deep cleaned the house, sent them videos. I can't read.
No.
I need to leave. I deep cleaned the house, sent them videos and photos of the room, which I am glad I've saved now, lent them some old furniture, and even gave them a free month of rent. They move in the first week of July, and immediately after moving in, I asked to come into their room just to chat, and they're doing drugs with the main roommate's boyfriend. I'm not going to include what they were doing.
Oh, no.
To try and keep this as anonymous as possible, because I'm not sure if they're on Reddit, but it kind of freaked me out as someone who was sober and seeing someone doing drugs in a house that isn't even entirely theirs, because they still aren't on the lease. I told them, hey, don't bring any of that sort into the house. I don't care what they do outside the house, but I want it a drug-free home. I need to go.
You cannot go.
And I honestly didn't say in the rules because I didn't think I'd need to. They said it was a one-time thing to celebrate moving in and continued all night, even when saying to please respect us and not continue. So they kept
I'm
doing
celebrating.
it.
I'm doing drugs. That's not normal.
The main roommate had also told me same day that her sister was actually staying until the end of October. Not the couple of months she had stated before.
That is not 2 months at all.
No, it's not.
Many months.
Yeah. From July to October.
That's a long time.
Fast forward to now.
Because that's 2, but still. No, that's 3 I meant.
Yeah.
That's 3, not 2, but.
Still, that's a long time.
Then you need to pay rent. You shouldn't be able to just have a guest over
rent.
for 2 months.
No. Fast forward to now, they don't really do their dishes, at least for a couple of days. Anytime I've gone into their room, it's very messy and nothing is actually unpacked, despite the sister not working very often and being home a lot of the time. They leave hair all over the bathroom sink and in the shower drain.
Ew.
That I have to pull out. The bathroom trash is overflowing. There's feminine products on the floor around it. They haven't taken out the trash and don't clean up after themselves.
You're fine.
There's boxes downstairs, and they haven't done anything in the past month. The main roommate has not even spent a single night here, as she spends all of her time at her boyfriend's. Only comes back to grab clothes every 3 days or so. And I voiced my concerns and asked them to pick up after themselves, do the dishes, but after the first mention of anything, they don't reply and nothing happens. They are not on the lease, and I don't know if I even want them in the house anymore. I've heard from friends, and the main roommate has been high all the time and is going down a dark path. So we're planning on an intervention, but honestly, I just want to ask them to leave. The kicker. I've talked to their old roommates, and they did the same exact thing at their place. They did not escape or leave on their own accord. They were kicked out for the very things they're doing now. Not paying / wanting to pay rent. It actually took them a while because they were very avoidant and didn't want to even sit and have a talk with them. They left their old place a mess and even damaged it. The old roommates actually didn't want to tell me anything about it because it was in the past and they didn't want to bring up any issues. Until I told them I was their new roommate. To which they replied, I am so sorry. I know that there could be two sides to this issue, but I'm more inclined to believe the people that dealt with the same thing I'm dealing with now, rather than someone saying their old roommates were crazy without any real claims to back it up. Oh my gosh.
Wow. This story has an update. I haven't gone through the motions yet, working on getting cameras. My mom has a few extras she's giving us tomorrow. She has some set up in her house to keep an eye on my grandma. They connect directly to your phone and also have night vision. I did finally get an answer back privately from the main roommate after another text was sent from my sister to the group chat requesting that everyone pulls their weight when it comes to cleanliness. She put it way better than I would, I have to be honest, saying that she will talk to her sister tomorrow and is picking her up to take her to work and will talk with her then. She said if things don't improve in the next 2 weeks, she'll drop her off at her mom's house. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for those 2 weeks, but I will be installing cameras and a Ring doorbell. Since I found out through a mutual friend that her sister has been having people over without my knowledge while my sister and I are at work, which would not be a problem if she would just give us a heads up instead of being sneaky about it. And no, I do not know these people she's having over. Guess what? There's actually another update. I had a talk with the main roommate on Saturday. I had planned to kick them out, but then this conversation was bizarre, start to finish. She had blamed everything on her sister and didn't take any responsibility for her actions. She was never home, but ultimately is the one paying for the room, and it is her responsibility to make sure her cat is okay and the room is okay. Her sister doing her duties, I feel, also falls under that umbrella, considering she's the one who moved her in. Her sister wouldn't answer the phone, so she called their mother, and she was so angry, started yelling at her to take more responsibility, to stop spending all her time at her boyfriend's place, and that the cat is her responsibility and no one else's. Basically, all good and valid points, and she still didn't seem to acknowledge that, at least in the moment. That night, I went to a social event where I had multiple people coming up to me and telling me things about these people, mostly all starting out with, "I'm so sorry." I got so upset and overstimulated about the situation that I ended up having my boyfriend pick me up early. We agreed to have another conversation today. I typed up and printed a document at work today, which was a list of things they'd done, as well as being mixed with an eviction notice. I got home and waited for them to come out of their room to have the conversation. 45 minutes after the set time, they text the group chat asking if we still want to have the conversation, and I reply I'm waiting on them. We go downstairs and they just said they'll be out by Friday, which was such a relief that I didn't have to push or even ask again. I am so relieved that it seems they're being really mature about the situation. I will update this post if anything happens, but I do believe that the situation is finally over. This next juicy story is called Psycho Arsonist Roommate. So a few months ago, I moved into a new place with this guy. Let's call him Tim. Tim seemed pretty normal at first. Quiet, kept to himself, paid rent on time. We weren't friends per se, but we'd have friendly interactions every now and again. That's all? You only talk to your roommate occasionally? That seems weird to me. Anyways.
Me too.
But then weird things started happening. Small stuff would go missing, like my phone charger or some snacks. I didn't think much of it at first, and I didn't really mind since I'm a patient guy. But then it escalated. Sorry, his word was really funny.
It is funny.
One night I came home from work and the entire place reeked of smoke. My heart dropped, thinking the apartment was on fire. I rushed in only to find Tim sitting on the couch, watching TV, acting completely nonchalant. I asked him what happened and where the smell was coming from, and he casually said, "Oh, I was just burning some old papers in the sink."
What?
He claimed he wanted to get rid of sensitive documents. Weird, but okay. What? Yeah, a shredder? They're what, $30? Okay. What really got me was that the smoke detector hadn't gone off. Tim said he took out the battery because it was annoying. Oh. That should have been my first red flag right there, but I was naive and gave him the benefit of the doubt. I told him to be careful as it may upset the neighbors and get us in trouble with the landlord. Yeah. A couple of weeks later, I was cleaning out my closet to make room for some new clothes I bought. and I noticed scorch marks on one of my shirts. It was stuffed in the back of my closet, and there was no way I accidentally burned it. I confronted Tim. He just shrugged and said, I have no clue where that came from. At this point, I was lost. There's no way Tim was going through my clothes and burning them for no reason, right? I didn't know what to think, so again, I let it slide and doubted my suspicions.
He's gaslighting.
I'm like side-eyeing him hard, like to you, but like this is not normal. Not just the burning, but like ignoring all these red flags.
I know.
Someone's burning your clothes and documents in your sink. If somebody did that, like if you started doing that, I'd be like, I gotta call someone.
You're like, I need to put you in a home.
Casey's mom, something's wrong.
She's having a mental breakdown.
The final straw came last weekend. I was out with friends and I ended up heading home earlier than usual. When I came back, the smell of smoke in the place was incredibly overwhelming. I noticed it was coming from my room and I rushed in to find my clothes piled in the middle of the floor, smoldering.
What the?
My laptop and a few other valuables were nearby, clearly targeted and damaged with scorch marks. I managed to put out the fire before it spread further, but I was furious, terrified, and confused. I go to find Tim, and he's in his room with the door locked. I repeatedly banged on the door, telling him to come out, and when he finally opened the door, he was laughing. I completely snapped at Tim and confronted him for his behavior. He admitted he liked playing with fire and thought it was funny to see my reaction. This guy is effing nuts. I called the police immediately. Tim was arrested, and I filed for a restraining order. Now I'm dealing with the aftermath and trying to recover from his absurdity. I'm shaken up, to say the least. I never thought I'd have to deal with something like this. I've had some bad roommates before, but nothing like this. How do you cope with this?
What the heck? Not him being like, I like your reaction.
Yeah, literally.
What the heck?
I like playing with fire. What? Yes, you do, brother.
Yeah, you're a psycho. You're a sadist.
Yeah, really.
I'm surprised you're not burning people.
A shredder is $30 at Staples. On sale right now. So, you could have just bought a shredder.
A psycho.
Okay, imagine being like,
purpose.
I'm going to burn documents in her house.
No.
Ever.
No.
Go outside.
Yeah, go to your fire pit.
Yeah.
What?
A fire pit probably costs more money than that. $13. $31. Oh, you could get a fire pit or a shredder. There's options. You can burn it outside and still enjoy your freaky arson behavior. Like, it's not a problem to be like, fire's cool. Like, fire can be really cool.
No, he's a sadist.
But not burning clothes and like...
sadistic.
He's crazy, but I hope that he never has another roommate. And then I just saw a comment on this that said, I had a roommate try to drown my cats.
What?
That's basically all. There's no more information, so I don't know why you'd even say that without giving us more information. I'm going to comment. I need more...
I need the whole story.
Information on what he was acting like and doing to your cats. That's crazy. All right, guys, that's today's episode.
We hope you enjoyed. And
I am positive there will be more episodes like this in the future.
For sure. We'll see you later.
We see you. I hope you had fun, because these are crazy. But anyways, bye.
Tell your friends to listen.
Yeah, tell everyone you know to listen.
Like, come back.
Yeah, listen to all of our episodes. We have lots of good ones. A good one in recent memory is our nightmare one. That one was like low-key my favorite.
That one was